Hi, I'm Senay Jackson, and I'm from Natchitoches, Louisiana. I'm a true Bayou baby, and I'm auditioning for Paranormal Investigator slash Paranormal Host, hopefully. Um, what are my favorite hobbies? My favorite hobbies is actually swimming. I like to go walking. I love to go hiking if I can. Um, Also, shooting on the range. I'm getting good at that. I am an outdoors woman. I do love going outside. I love walking. I love sitting in the parks. You name it, I love to do it. Anything that keeps me busy, I like to do and keep me active. Um, my paranormal experience started when I was about, I'd say, maybe 9.5, 10. It's hard to recollect everything. I remember that being young and being in my room and hearing this woman talk to me. I can't explain to you how weird that was. I didn't see her, but I could hear her. And when you're a child, people put that as, that's just make believe. That's just someone she's talking to. But I remember this just sickly smell, this just overpowering, just sweet, 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 perfumey smell. And I can't tell you what she said, but she felt comfortable. She didn't seem scary to me. And I remember going back and forth in a conversation. I can't tell you anything she said, but I've had several paranormal experiences, and some of them have been real horrific. But this was different in my young years. This one made me wonder why I could hear, or I could smell, or I could feel, and no one else in the family could. And when I told my mom about it, she had pretty much told me to ignore it. So I did. Um, what got me to pursue ghost hunting? To be honest with you, I've had three near death experiences. And anyone who's walked away from death will tell you that we start to question. We start to question, why are you here? You start to wonder, why is it that you feel like you're being chased, that you feel like you're on borrowed time. And that got me to study, that got me to pay attention, that got me to look in more into the paranormal. I wanted to know what would happen if I died tomorrow. Would I be able to still see my kids? Would I still be able to reach my family if I wasn't ready to go? And it got me started. It started to make sense to me the more and more I investigated, and more I started learning more about ghost hunting. It's not easy getting into ghost hunting. I don't recommend that you get a Ouija board at all. Please don't get that. And I don't recommend that you go to a graveyard and you disrespect. You get with a team, you get with those who are experienced, you get with those who are trained, you get with those who are documented and who knows how to approach a spirit. They can follow you home. They can't harm you. I got the scratches and the marks to prove it. They can attack you. Some of the things that you see on TV is quite real. And that was one of the things that we did on our show, Paranormal Experience, from Louisiana to Atlanta, was to show that there are spirits among us. I have videotaped past experiences. I have. Um, I've shown, what look like orbs. We've shown what look like shadows. We've shown what looks like, figures. But again, uh, I don't recommend you doing this by yourself. Um, Equipment that we used was night cameras, night vision cameras. We also had digital recorders. We also had dowsing rods. We used the basics. We also had a voice box. I didn't want to overdo it with, 1,001 equipment when we were taping our shows. I wanted to use the basics so we could keep it clean, so people could follow what we were doing step by step, because it was important that they go on our experience with us. And I felt like they did. I got a lot of good feedback whenever we taped our video shows, our shows. Um, Do you think your team of people would be funny? I actually do think that they would find it entertaining. I think they would find me entertaining. I'm the jokester. I'm the one that's always saying, please don't let me run away. If it looks like I'm hiding, come get me. Um, my team always enjoyed having me, and whenever I would hop to other teams or invite other teams to ghost hunt with, because again, paranormal experience was about anyone and everyone having this experience. It wasn't just generated on the one team that I was with. They said I was pretty lively, and again, I had to make sure I didn't run. And so if there was a noise or a shadow or a smell I didn't understand, I had to remind myself, here's where I wanted to be and here's where I asked to be, so no running. So I think they would. The fact that it was African American woman was a showstopper. The fact that it was predominantly all women was another showstopper. So we had a good following when we were taping our shows from Louisiana to Georgia. Do I provoke those? I try not to. That's not something that I encourage, only because they can attack you. And again, like I said, I got the scratch marks and the marks and the headaches and the fatigue to prove it. They can attach themselves to you as well. They can follow you home. Some of the things that you do see on television, again, it's quite real. They can follow you home, and they can make your life miserable. Some forms of fashion are some nightmares. Others are just the feeling of never being alone, the cold feelings, the chills. So they have their own way of getting at you if they need to get to you, if they want to get to you. Um, the responses that I've had is scratch marks. Hearing my name being called is the most freakiest of all. The feeling of not being alone has been one of the things that has bothered me the most. It causes chills because I know I see, or I know I feel, or I know I've heard something, and then no one else but you hear. And it just provokes a little uncomfortableness sometimes when you're around others and you hear talking or you hear your name and no one but you has heard it. So it can be a little silly or a little scary, whichever word you would prefer. It can be interesting, I will tell you that. I feel like I'm a big character. I feel like that I'm the life of any party. Once I laugh, you can't stop me from laughing. But I love doing this. This is what I do, and I encompass it in investigation, and I bring my heart and soul to it. And I think anybody who would work with me would see that I'm driven to tell the truth. And I am a big character. Definitely am, and I'm proud to be a Bayou baby through and through. Um, my motto is, we don't stop until we find the proof. Living or dead, we don't stop until we find the proof. Um, what's the reason why I would like to do it? Well, I feel like I'm the best candidate because I'm open, I'm honest, I'm sincere. I believe in ghost hunting. I believe in investigations. I believe in proving that there is such thing as life after death. And besides being lovable and sweet and honest and kind, I am sincere in my documentations of life after death. And after having 3 near-death experiences, I'd like to show others that we don't have to be as scared. We don't have to be afraid, no matter what the movies and the television shows and series show. We can welcome it, or we can look at it with more of an open mind than the mind that we have now. And I think if given a chance that I can prove that there is a lot more out there than what we know. Um, I just enjoy it. And I've never been to swamps, but I have been to graveyards. And I just hope I'm actually someone that you can use. My name is Senay Jackson, and thank you, and good night.